Welcome InfoChino lovers. I'm here today with Rob Nobilo from Fortinet. Rob, it's been a while.
Has been a long time, mate.
We're just having a good chat before about the good old days of IT and
showing our age.
A few legends of the industry, Mr. Rob Tinning.
Yes, indeed.
Rest in peace, Rob. Look, today we're here to talk about FortiSASE.
Yes.
It's really ripping along at the moment. Just to let everybody know, Rob is the solution lead for secure networking at Fortinet. And has been with Fortinet now for
10 months.
10 months, wow. So very technical. Unlike myself, I'm going to talk about this at a high level and ask lots of probing questions to Rob. So Rob, last week I saw Gartner's Magic Quadrant that Fortinet is the leader there in customer choice for SSE.
Yep.
We're going to touch on that in a moment. But let's talk about Fortinet's holistic security approach when it comes to SASE. Yep. If you look at the 40 wheel now, the 40 wheel of products, it is immense. Yep. If you're new to Fortinet, you might not understand what a lot of these terminologies are. We're going to unpack a few of those today, starting with SASE, yep. and why SASE is so important for organisations that have moved to a cloud-native architecture. Yep. So firstly, let's unpack SASE a little bit, Rob. What makes up that SASE offering for Fortinet?
Yeah, sure. So I think what it comes down to is the convergence of networking and security. So if you look at most of our products, it's all about convergence. Convergence and integration. So if we take the secure networking stack, which I look after, you've got your next-gen firewall and your SD-WAN. It's all around the convergence of networking and security. So single appliance that can do next-gen firewall and the SD-WAN side. So we then move into the SD branch. So that's our access points and our switches, connecting those into that broader WAN environment, being able to add firewall rules to your access points and your switches. Then comes the SASE piece. So the SASE piece is effectively how do we secure our remote workers when they're no longer sitting behind a firewall somewhere. So if we use Gartner's definition of SASE, it is the convergence of the networking piece, the SD-WAN, and the SSE piece, or the secure services edge. So cloud-delivered security, which encompasses secure web gateway, firewall as a service, ZTNA, and CASB.
Okay. Do you want to unpack CASB a little bit? Because that's something that gets thrown around a lot. And for the novices out there, what is a good definition of CASB?
Good definition of CASB is secure access to your SaaS application. So as we all know, SaaS applications, you're responsible for your data, not the underlying infrastructure. So CASB gives you visibility and control into that data. Okay.
And as part of an organisation wanting to move to a zero trust network architecture, yep. I'm assuming that's very important.
It is very important. So we do our zero trust in quite a unique way. So we have universal ZTNA. So not only for remote workers, like most SASE vendors do, our universal SASE you can do whether you're on network or whether you're off network, whether your resources are on network or whether they're in the cloud. So being able to have universal zero trust rules across your environment, not just for your remote workers.
So that effectively allows you to build secure remote access environments. Yes. Do you want to touch on how that actually works within the ZTNA environment?
Yeah, so if we unpack SASE a bit more, as I mentioned, it's the combination of the networking piece and the security piece. And so when your workers are not sitting behind a FortiGate appliance, or if they're not part of that SD-WAN environment, it's just basically extending that network out to your remote workers. So that same security profile, those same security rules, being able to provide consistent security no matter where the user is, no matter where the applications are. So from the zero trust piece, it's looking at the main tenet of zero trust, which is never trust, always verify. So we're looking at things like...
So you're saying you can't trust me?
I can't.
Can I trust you?
Definitely not.
Can we trust Rachna over there?
Definitely not.
No? What about, can we trust Tom? No.
I don't know about Tom, I only just met Tom.
Okay, all right. So we can't trust anybody?
We can't trust anybody.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. A bit like your bank, you can't trust your bank.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
So on that front, so it's looking at things like what device are you using, what user groups are you a part of, should you have access to that application. Once you've ticked those boxes, we then do a posture check on the device because we don't know if you've been compromised by an attacker. So we look at things like, do you have antivirus? Is it on? Is it up to date? We run a vulnerability scan. Do you have any vulnerabilities? Once you've ticked all those boxes and you become compliant, we'll then give you access only to that application. So rather than the traditional VPN style of once you're in the front door, you can do whatever you want to, attackers know that, so they'll get access into an environment and then start moving laterally across. So what ZTNA does, it only gives you access to that application once you've ticked all those boxes. If you want to move into another application within that same data center, that can be on-premise, it can be in the cloud, we're running all those checks again. Should you have access? If you should have access, once you tick all those boxes, then we're going to give you access in.
Yeah, look, it's interesting. We've just gone through two very large implementations, or we're working through two large implementations with a couple of very large aged care facilities. I won't name them on this session, but one thing that was really important to them is making sure that we can offer them compliance and reporting that comes out of the SASE engine that Fortinet has created. Do you want to touch on that compliance and reporting capability that Fortinet brings to market?
Yeah, sure. So the good thing about SASE is it does encompass our ZTNA, our firewalls as a service, and it's all built on the same operating system as our FortiGates, as our EDR. And so we're able to consume a lot of data, putting all that data into FortiAnalyzer. From FortiAnalyzer, we can get a lot of reporting, a lot of compliance reporting, but also just from the SASE side and the CASB component of it, being able to do things natively out of the box like PCI reporting, GDPR reporting. So all of that's there. From an education perspective, we've got some really cool reporting around things like bullying, suicide, etc., which is all natively out of the box. So, and the reason why we're good at doing that is because of our technology, right? We develop our own ASICs, which means we can do decryption at scale. We can do decryption extremely fast. You can't stop what you can't see. 80% of the traffic on the internet is encrypted. So the more you can decrypt, the more you can see, the more you can then start reporting on.
That's really interesting. And yeah, building your own ASIC chips was very critical during COVID.
It was indeed.
When you had technology and nobody else
had it
in the market had technology over that period.
Yep.
Obviously, you saw a huge growth spurt during that period of time. Again, you are the number one network security company in the world, and still the fastest growing network security company in the world. Yep. What sort of innovative technologies are you seeing on the horizon for Fortinet in relation to the SASE and ZTNA portfolio?
So look, we are keeping to the theme of everything under one single operating system. So no matter what technologies we're developing, it's all we're trying to build it all on that same operating system, using the same AI security services. So FortiGuard Labs. Most people aren't aware how big FortiGuard Labs actually is. So
how big is it, Rob?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay, good.
It's this big.
Okay.
No, so if you look at 1 out of every 2 firewalls shipped in the world is a FortiGate. So we've got over 10 million firewalls out there in the world. All that data, all that telemetry is being pumped into FortiGuard Labs, which is a combination of an AI engine and a lot of very smart security analysts. So if we see something anywhere in the world, our customers are going to be updated instantly. So it's continuing that theme, same operating system, same AI security services to add that protection across the board.
So it's kind of giving you a lot of scale, right? So if your business is growing, it's important to have SASE, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and the good part of Fortinet is that we have been in networking and security for quite a long time. As I mentioned, our next-gen firewall appliances are already SD-WAN enabled. As a customer, you don't need to buy SD-WAN. It's already included as part of our firewall range. So, customers can actually turn it on without even telling us. There's no bandwidth requirements. There's no additional licensing. They're also ZTNA proxy enabled. So if you've already got a FortiGate, you're already halfway there from your zero trust story because the gate's there already proxy enabled for the zero trust. And so the SASE is just that missing piece.
So literally you're maximising your hardware investment with the amazing software that Fortinet develops on the proprietary ASIC chips that are built for ZTNA and SASE.
Yep. And so we're seeing more and more customers wanting to look into consolidation now. So over the years, we've built a lot of complexity within our IT environments, a lot of point solutions over the years because applications are now everywhere. They're not only in our data center, users are now everywhere. They're no longer just sitting in an office somewhere. So We've built up these big complex IT environments. Most customers have anywhere between 50 and over 100 security tools within their environment. Hard to manage. It's almost impossible, right? So created this big attack surface. So we're helping customers with that consolidation story, trying to do more with less. It's pretty hard economic times. There's not a lot of resources available in the market now. So how do we do more with less? How do we consolidate? We help consolidate through our convergence story, and we've been doing quite a good job in the network and security convergence.
It's interesting, man, because like Compnow invested in Fortinet nationally for our business. As an exec, I'm out on the road. I'm traveling around. We've got a 40 VPN, and I must admit, I can pretty much log in from anywhere. I've logged in from all sorts of weird locations. And with ZTNA that we've rolled out, I can literally be logging in from anywhere, and the dodgiest cafe in the middle of nowhere, and it protects me.
So the three main benefits of our single vendor SASE offering is the first one, consistent security, being able to consolidate, converge, integrate. The second piece is the user experience piece. So through our cloud delivered SD-WAN and through our ZTNA, providing that better user experience, because the last thing you want to do is roll out something that's going to make your users' life hard. So being able to connect to any resource, no matter where you are with that same exact experience, it's going to make not only IT's job easier, but it's going to make it nicer for their staff, and they're not going to have as many phone calls complaining about things. So
no, that's amazing to hear. And look, lastly, Rob, you've worked very closely with our pre-sales team and engineers. We've built up a really extensive skill set internally to be able to deliver some of these really complex projects. What's your experience been like working with Compnow?
Yeah, so look, I've had the luxury of working with your SA team, really smart, knowledgeable guys. The benefit of already being a Fortinet shop, the move to FortiSASE, while it is a journey, isn't a big leap. It's using the same technology that's in our FortiGates, the same technology that's in our SD-WAN, the same operating system, same security services. So it didn't need to be a sharp learning curve for your team. They don't have to learn a new technology, a new vendor, a new product. It's all Fortinet. So as they're implementing it, for them it's quite easy because they've already implemented Fortinet and the SD-WAN and the next-gen firewall capability. So it's just the next logical step for your team. So they've taken to it like a duck to water. So
no, that's awesome to hear, Rob. And look, for all our customers out there, we're open for conversations around the entire Forti portfolio. Rob, look, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you after all these years.
It's been a long time.
Look, Compnow provides IT custom built for your needs. If you would like to know more about what we spoke about today, please get in touch with your Compnow Account Manager or email us on info@compnow.com.au. Thanks, guys, and have a great day. Thanks, Rob.
Cheers, mate.
Awesome.
Pleasure.